Hello everyone, welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle, and today we're working on a project I've been wanting to do for a long time. So what I plan to do is I'm going to upgrade the exhaust on my Honda cb650 here. I'm going to go back to the original OEM 4x4 exhaust, which is really rare and really hard to find. It took me a couple of years to track down and find a set. Luckily I was able to find a set on eBay, two different sellers. This one of them popped up that was really nice, and then before I bought it I searched around until I could find another one that was, you know, close to or as nice, and so I ended up getting the two, but from different sellers. One of them needs a little bit of you know, polishing and cleaning up to match the other one. One's mint. Here, I'll show you. This this exhaust here is absolutely mint, but you see how it goes, like this is the left side, it goes two down into two, and then here's the right side here, and it's not quite as nice. Like if you look here in the center, there's a little bit of pitting and stuff, whereas this one's, you know, absolutely, you know, pristine. Yeah, like this thing, I don't know how this exhaust is even in existence, because these are really rare. This is a really rare and hard to find exhaust. Like I had to put like a search notification on eBay, and probably took, like I said, 2 years to you know, finally I got hundreds of notifications on Honda cb650 exhausts that, you know, weren't what I was looking for, and then one day, boom, this one popped up. It wasn't cheap, especially to buy the two from two different sellers, but you know, you just can't find this stuff anymore. It's next to impossible. So this other one here, it needs a little bit of polishing. It's here, I'm just gonna put this piece down here. Yeah, so this right side of the exhaust needs a little bit of work. If you look closely at it, there's a little bit of pitting up in here, which is pretty common for this, and a little bit pitting in the center, but overall, I mean, there's no holes in it or anything. You know, so I'll flip it right upside down, and you can see the underneath of it. There's no holes in it or anything. And the ends, you know, they're not blown out or anything. Consider myself lucky that I even found something even this nice. And so yeah, with a little bit of polishing and cleaning up, most of this part here, like, so this is the, here, I'm gonna flip it around. So this is the side that sticks out on the bike, and most of this part that you see is pretty good. There's these plates that go on here, and then so I'll polish this up, and this goes on. It's like a little chrome thing that goes over here, and it covers up a lot, and you kind of, that's all you really will see is this part here, and it's covered up. And here's one for the other side. And so I'm just gonna clean up these little cracks and places around here. I'm using this metal polish, Autosol, and some of the really rough spots I'm using one of these pads. I'm not going to use it on like this nice surface, it'll scratch it up. That'll just be buffed. But down in here where it's really grimy. One of the problems with polishing chrome exhaust is you got to get all the polish off, because what happens is you'll fire up the bike and it gets warm, and the chrome will go all cloudy and stuff. So it's it's almost like you got to polish it and then get that waxy film off the top of it somehow. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. Because yeah, as soon as they get hot, it gets all cloudy. So yeah, I'll be trying to figure that out, and yeah, and then, you know, I'll take this old exhaust off. It's not too bad shape, this one, but it doesn't have the 2 into 2 on this side, and the same with the other side. But I'll definitely keep this exhaust around because it's not bad. But these exhausts are hard to find, even in this shape, you know. Yeah, guys can't. It's mostly just this bike in particular. If this was a Honda 750F, or, you know, from the 70s, they make reproductions of these things, and you can usually get them on. But this one, I guess, is not as collectible, so they don't make the reproductions for this bike anymore. I think they used to at one time. So there's a bit of rust right there. All that stuff will polish out, but it's not too bad. There's a little bit of discoloration in here, but that's the way it goes with these old classic bikes, you know. What you got is what you got, and what's out there is what's out there, and the supply is dwindling. But yeah. But yeah, I'll get this polished up, and I'll bring you back when when it's looking a little better, and then I'll go and I'll put it on the bike and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll start it up and see how it sounds. Okay, I'll just show you how I'm doing this. I've got all these little things you can put on your drill. I got like little tiny polishing tips. These are more likely for like a Dremel. This one you can put on your drill. These ones I used on other stuff, but they're you know, just basically like a bunch of cotton material jammed onto a thing and tightened down. And then yeah, I'll probably stay away from using any kind of wire wheel on here. I got a big buffing pad here. It's seen better days, but I probably won't need that just yet. I've got some old Autosol I found, and my drill, and yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get in here and see what I can get polished up here, and I might switch to the Dremel tool to get into the really tough spots. But we'll see what everything is going here. So I just did what I could with the drill here, and I'll just show you what it looks like. I'm gonna give it a little polish, and it's looking a lot better. There's still some you know, rust down in the corners here. I got my Dremel tool and this little fine tip thing, and I'm going to try to get some of that out. I'm just working this stuff around in here. But it's starting to come clean. So here's that part now. It's looking pretty good. It's not perfect. There's still a little bit of, you know, corrosion damage right in here, but it's not like, you know, it's only surface deep. It's not like structural or anything. I could go crazy on it and get this, but there's no more chrome on here anymore, and it's just likely to just rust even faster next time. So it's the underbelly of the bike anyway, so most likely you're not going to see this part. So that's about as good as I can get it on this side. I'm going to flip it over and do some work to the other side of it and try to get it cleaned up. much like this one here. So yeah, not bad though. Looking better than it did. I'll just start working away on this side. This tube's almost done. Okay, for the most part, it's pretty polished up and clean. I think I'll go over it once it's hung on the bike because I'm getting fingerprints on it now. I'm at that point where every time I touch it, it gets cloudy. And but I'll just show you in here. I mean, it's pretty good. You know, all this is solid anyway, so structurally there's nothing wrong with it. There is, you know, some blemishes, but this is going to be under the engine, and then this thing goes over top like that, which covers, and that's really the only part you see when it's hanging on the bike. You know, this side and a bit of the front of this here, you know, and then the back side here is pretty hidden, but when it's sitting on the bike like so, you know, this is the side you'll see, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it's got some cloudy from me touching it. Every time I put my fingers on it, it gets cloudy. So when it's hung on the bike, I'll be able to finish that off. Oh yeah, and then the underside I was going to show you looks pretty good. You know, so not bad. Turned out pretty good. There's a couple of little rusty spots, like just surface, that, you know, there's no point in, you know, digging at it until it's bare metal, because it's just going to rust again in 2 seconds. So, you know, you don't want to take any of that chrome off as much as possible anyways. The only way to deal with that would be to get it re-chromed, and I'm not about to do that. So there's a little tiny bit here, but yeah, you're not going to see this side of it anyways, so not to worry. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Little bit of pitting on this inside here. Again, I could scrub this clean with the green scrubby, but then you put a whole bunch of scratches in here, and then it kind of dulls the finish, and it'd probably show up more. You'd see the dull finish more than you'd see these little specks everywhere. So not gonna play with that anymore. So yeah, that's pretty good there. And then so I'm gonna put this aside for now. These things are kind of like little beauty caps that go on the center at the bottom on the pipe. And the inside, this one's pretty good. This one's must be off a different set. And then this one here, it's got a little bit of surface rust on the underside, which, you know, obviously you won't see, but I got a bit of work to do before I put these on. And what I was thinking, I've got this really old bucket of evaporust, and I might just drop them right inside the bucket and then pull them out the next day or two, and most of this will probably be gone. So we'll do that right now. I'll bring the bucket in and I'll show you. I'll drop. So here's my bucket of evaporust. If you've never heard of this stuff, it's amazing. Just eats rust, leaves everything else behind, doesn't damage rubber or chrome, or it's non-toxic, it's biodegradable, all that kind of stuff. It's really good stuff. And this bucket has been around a long time. You might have seen in my previous videos. I've used this over and over and over. It's a couple years old. I've done numerous gas tanks and all kinds of parts with it. And so the great thing about this, you can just reuse it. Just keep pouring it back and save it for another day. And so I'm gonna get this lid off. And I got some tie wire here. I was just gonna maybe loop this through and just, you know, drop it down. That way I can fish it out without getting my your fingers in it. Just bend that over the side. It's fully submerged. Same with this one. This one doesn't really need it, but I'm gonna put it in anyways. Alright. Just dunk it in there. And yeah, I'll show you. This stuff's gnarly. It still works though. I just cleaned a fuel tank, a couple of fuel tanks out with it. So we'll just keep on going with it. Yeah, it's good stuff. One more thing I wanted to clean up and get ready before I hang the exhaust on. These are the two brackets that go at the back that hold the two pipes together, and then you hang it on the bike. You got left and the right. I'm just gonna clean these up with a bit of WD-40 and get them ready to put on. WD-40 is a pretty quick and easy way to clean these without getting all involved. Maybe we'll be able to scrub that leather off. Yep, it's coming off. When I got the exhaust pipes, the brackets didn't come with it, so I had to order these separate too. So all in all, it's pretty pricey. You know, pretty costly endeavor. Yeah. So that took there was some yellow paint on here. This is left and right. So got that pretty cleaned up. So we'll mount those on next and take this old exhaust off and then look at putting the new exhaust on. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Okay, so I'm gonna take this side of the exhaust off and just sort of see what we're up against here. Just gonna loosen this back bracket off. There. Okay, so that's just hanging on by a thread. Now I'll just switch over to the front here. This has got these 10 mil nuts on holding these exhaust clamps on. There's two for each side, for each clamp. And these should slide down. There's these little, what would you call these? Like little shims that go, they work in tandem with the exhaust flange that hold the pipe against the head. You just tuck in here. There's two halves. And then this thing should be free. There's not much else holding it on. So just drop it down here. And then poof. There, she's off. Alright. I'm gonna take this out of the way. I'm gonna take these flanges off. put this pipe aside somewhere. Just looking through my bolt collection here, and bolt and nut collection. Looking for, when I got these clamps, they didn't have the right nuts, but I found some in my collection. Always save every nut and bolt when you're doing this type of stuff. So this should line up with the bracket at the foot peg there. Done good. Okay. Should we see if it fits on there? Yes. Just about ready to put this on. Just gotta slide these donut things on, these exhaust flanges. So they go on like this, the fins facing forward. And then it's just a matter of getting that up into there, lining this side up, and then I'll slide this bolt and up. I think all I gotta do now is get these little, I don't know what you call these, exhaust shims, or so there you go. This little edge on the outside, like so, and then the donut thing comes around, goes over top of them. Okay, so there's a difference in shims here, and I keep everything. I don't throw any of this stuff out, and I didn't really know what these ones were for, but I think it's for this type that I'm putting on now. This is what came off, and this is what's going on. I think you can see the difference. So luckily I kept all those. So I got enough to do the job. If these are right, then that's good. And I'll just save the other ones for a rainy day. So I think these are going to go on. There's like a thin side here and a thicker side here. And I think it's going to go on like so. Out. Yeah, that looks right to me. We'll put these on. So I'll just put the thinner side out and the thicker side towards the engine. There. Okay, I'll finish tightening those up by hand. Just want to see how loose this feels. Actually feels pretty good. Okay. Okay. There. Look at that. And then when I get that this beauty cap thing out of the Vaporust, I'll put it on. But yeah, and I'll just wipe this down when I'm done. All right, cool. I'm gonna just hand tighten the rest on this side, and then I can move over to the other side. Just want to actually feel how tight these are. Yeah, I feel like that one felt a bit loose. There. That's pretty tight. Awesome. One thing I noticed when I walked around the back of it, see how much further in those mufflers are compared to this side. This one sticks out further, like towards the back. So that's different. You got more access to this axle bolt. Yeah, that's one little difference I noticed. So I just got to get this side ready to hang on there. We got to put this clamp on a little bit. Oh, that one plunked right on. Nice. Okay. One thing I was going to point out the difference of why it takes different shims is if you look at, I'll hold up this one. So here's the one that came off, and you can see how narrow this part is compared to here. It's a lot thicker, more broad. So that's the difference. That's why it takes different shims. All right. Tighten that down. Yeah, just gonna hand tighten these up. Make sure that they're not over tightened, but tight, you know. They're not very big bolts, like they're not very thick, so it'll be easy to snap them off. Okay. There. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so all it's left to do, I'm just going to give everything a little wipe down before I start it. And then we'll see how it sounds, okay? Here's the old one that was on there. And you can see how it had a bit of a leak here. I had it patched up. Hose clamp. Much more rusty. But, you know, still considered probably pretty good for this bike because, you know, somebody would want that because it's so hard to find. You know, you could put a new tip on or paint this or wrap it, you know, for cafe racer type bike. And then here's the other one. I think it had a similar, yeah, it looks like it was leaking an exhaust right here. Oh yeah, remember we welded a patch on the bottom here. So, and then this portion here is definitely a slip-on aftermarket. So the only part that's actual cb650 I think is the headers, unless that's aftermarket too. I just don't know. But yeah, so without further ado, should we listen to it run? Okay, I've got the bike outside and I can actually kind of stand back and look at it. It's kind of dark on this side. Yeah, they looking pretty good. I don't have those beauty cap things on here yet, but I will very soon. But it won't affect the sound of it. So let's hope I got everything in there properly. I don't have any exhaust leaks. Just gonna turn the fuel on. Just wait a sec. Make sure there's no fuel leaks. Sometimes when this bike hasn't started up in a while, you get the odd fuel leak, but there, see that? Yeah, these old bikes do that. See, just a little tap of the old screwdriver handle fixes that. All right. So I'm going to wait for that gas to dissipate before I start it. Yeah, just cleaning this up. I hate it when that happens. But should be good to go now. It's pretty common, that's why I look for it. Okay, so very cold start here. Hasn't been running, oh, at least a couple months. I start it up every once in a while, but let's pull the choke right out, turn it on, give it a couple of whacks with the throttle. This one has a fuel or accelerator pump. A couple more. Oh. Good. That's awesome. Listen to that. That's running good. pipe down a little bit so it'll get all cloudy on me. That's great. That's great. Start it right up. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So happy. It's the next day now, and that turned out really great. Really happy. That went on really easily. It looks fantastic on there. Sounds amazing. Super happy about that. There's just one last little thing, was those little beauty caps, and I had them soaking in this bucket, and this might be the end of the evaporust, because I kind of expected it to be a little cleaner than it came out here. Let's turn the light on here, and they're not. I kind of expected all that rust to be gone. Yeah, I mean it's a little better. It's not bad, but usually this stuff, when it's, you know, when it's new, it does a much better job of cleaning. But yeah, that might be the end of that rust, or the evaporust. Yeah. This was the worst of the two that I put in there. This one doesn't look too bad. This one here doesn't look too bad. There's still a little bit on here. Yeah, not too bad. This one I could probably put on. It's pretty good. Maybe I'll soak this one a little bit longer. But and then I was looking for the bolts that go on there, and I was digging through my spare bolts, and I don't have a lot of good options. Like there's this one here, is probably the best one. It's got a fairly clean head on it, and then these ones are a little bit rusty. The head's on not too bad on that one, but you start getting into, oh, the head's on good on that one, but there's one here, yeah, like this one here, it's kind of chewed up. And this one here, it's not too bad, but it's a little bit rusty. And unfortunately, unless you're gonna, you know, re-zinc these, or I don't know what you do, chrome them or whatever, they've kind of lost their luster, so to speak. This one's pretty good. This is the best one. And then in here, I've kind of looked around. I can't really find any more. And the ones on that came off the pipes that are sitting down here, they're kind of rusty too. They're chewed up. So yeah, I don't know. We can, maybe I'll look online and see if I can find some new ones. That would be nice. Get 4 new ones. Probably won't cost very much. Just have to wait for them to come in. So I might do that. And yeah, and for the meantime, I might be able to, I'll just put this one on this side. And I'll leave this one soaking for a little bit longer. This one's, I could probably put on, it'll look alright. There. This is the right side. And I just put this little beauty cap thing on there now. That's what it looks like. It just covers this join between the header and the muffler, and it looks pretty good on there. Probably look for some new bolts for it though. But yeah, project is almost complete, but I'm gonna let that other side soak for a little bit longer, and then hunt around for some better bolts for it. And until then, I'm gonna probably end the video there. Yeah, I hope you liked the video of me changing the exhaust back to the original OEM. It was exciting for me. I really wanted to do that for a while. I think it looks great. Super stoked about that. I want to thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps my channel out. I really enjoy making these videos and getting them out to you. And hopefully we'll see you again real soon. center stand mechanic.